me to discuss this is
Joy 𝐞𝐻𝐞𝐿. It is a program that discusses various national and international matters.
A Nigerian should be able to live and work in a hospitable and safe environment in the north or south or east or west of Nigeria.
We cannot have a country where politicians do things and get away with them and expect that the citizens will do otherwise.
Daily Communion for the love of God and neighbor.
Welcome to Daily Communion, a program from the stable of the Catholic Television, a breakfast show where we look at issues, burning issues, and matters from various perspectives. This is your most entertaining and most informative program on air right now. My name is Nelly Frank, and I'm sitting in, or better still, let's say standing in for Joy. I won't be hosting it alone, as you know, it's usually Joy and someone else, but today is Nelly and
Arthur Ejiofor. You're welcome.
All right, good to have you on this program. We will be dishing out from this table some burning issues and looking at various perspectives of the Benue uprising. When we return, do stay with us.
Hello and good morning. I hope you all slept well. I don't know how your yesterday went, but I say to you, however it turned out, how did you treat it? Whom did you run to? If you ran to God, then you did rightly. When you are tired, when you feel that the world is closing in, there's so much trouble, so much persecution and everything, I strongly advise you run to God. Psalm 46 verse 1 says, "The Lord is our refuge and our strength, our ever-present help in times of trouble." Therefore, Jesus does not want to know whether you are right or you are wrong. He's your refuge. As long as you come to him, he will shield you, first of all, and then he will save you. Have a beautiful day ahead. Remember, run to God in times of trouble and he will save you. Have a peaceful day.
Welcome to Health Tips on the Daily Communion. Expedient. I keep using that language to take care of your health. If you don't take care of your health, guess what? Sickness will invade your body like plagues and cut your life short. It is expedient that you take care of your health. Today, we are talking sweet dangers. Eating or consuming sweet things, excessively sweet things, added sugar can lead to various health hazards. The first danger you will be finding hazards will be mood swings. You do not know sugar, this sugary foods, added sugar causes us to have a lot of swings in our moods, okay? Sometimes you see some people, they become easily irritated. The next minute, they are anxious. It causes anxiety, it causes irritations and all that. And you are wondering what's wrong with that one. You just might not know. It might just be the excessive sugar consumption that is causing those mood swing. And the second thing you will notice is you have insulin resistance, and it will lead you to type 2 diabetes if you keep consuming sweet things, added sugars long enough. This will lead to insulin resistance, increasing the risk of you developing type 2 diabetes. The number 3 thing is that it will lead to tooth decay. Sugary things can lead to gum disease or tooth decay, heart disease. Consuming high amounts of sugar can increase the risk of heart disease, including high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and heart attack. Number 5 is that it will lead to premature aging. There is this products, end products in our body that is called ages. It comes as a result of consuming sugary things. Number 6 will be the issue with the skin. Consuming high amounts of sugar can lead to skin issues, which include acne, premature aging, as we have already named. It also leads to hormonal imbalances. Sugar consumption can disrupt the hormonal imbalances, particularly insulin and cortisol in our system. What do you do? First thing first, stay away from added sugar. Reducing your sugar intake to a very, very minimal level will help you to stay away from these health hazards. Choose whole foods. Focus on whole unprocessed foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean meat, proteins. It will be good for you to also cook at home. Prepare your meals in the house that you will eat it fresh. Those fresh foods are very good for your health. Prepare it fresh, eat it, and you will live healthy. Remember, a balanced diet with minimal added sugars can help you to mitigate the health hazard associated with sugary foods. There you have it. Now that we have educated and enlightened you, we believe that the information is at your fingertips and you will make the best of it. Take care of your health. The best day to take care of your health is today, and the best time is now, that you may stay well and for longevity's sake. Remember also to add daily fitness to everything you do. Now let's join our fitness segment and get going with the exercise of the day. I am Nelly Frank.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome again to the show Daily Communion. I am your fitness trainer, Tari Oba. So let's get it started. We don't have much time. So here are some simple exercise stuff you can have in the house. This is an exercise ball. This is a resistance band. But if you do not have any of this, you can just pick any of your easy going exercise. So let me show you what to do with this. So I'll use the resistance band, then show you how to use your exercise. So let's go. We're still working on our arms for this week. So let's go. You put your hands in and you move it out. So what this does is it strengthens your hand muscles in an attempt to take off the Christian mother hand. You know what I mean? The flaps and everything. So let's go. Pull it down and up, down and up, down and up. So if you have this, you can do these 12 reps each and 3 sets. Then you can take it all the way out and do the same thing. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do the same numbers, 12. Take it to the side and pull down the left now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if you're going, you should go more than this. And the other side, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And take it to the back and pull it down and take it up, down, up, then up, then up. And you can keep it right here and pull this all the way up and back, all the way up and back. This is it, up and back, up and back, up and back, and swap it, the same thing. So now I'm going to show you how to use just your hair tie to achieve the same results. So let's go. So you just hold it right here, in and out, in and out. This is it, this is it, this is it. Same 15 reps. Take it all the way up, same, same, same. Take it to the side, same, same. 15 reps. So it keeps your arms balanced. The other side, let's go. Same, same, same. Take it all the way down to the back and up, back and up, back and up. And so we'll do the last one right here. Take it back and put it up. This is it. Up, up, up. Swap it. Let's go. Take it down. Up, up, and up. So you can see with your hair tie, you can achieve the same thing, if not exactly though, because the resistance band will give you more elasticity that the hair tie does not have. So we're going to go with the exercise ball now and take it all the way up and down, up and down, up. This stretches the arms, your back, your shoulder, and take it to the side and back to the center, side, back to the center, side, back to the center. Let's go. Side, side, and side. Now we're going to take it backwards and forward, backwards and forward, backwards and forward, backwards and forward. And you're going to keep it right here and attempt to press. This is it. Attempt to press, attempt to press, attempt to press. So all of these tones your hand muscles, increases flexibility, strength, blood flow, especially if you're a very busy person, you need to find a way to get exercise into your routine. So you can do this while watching your favorite show. This is it. We are Synergy Fitness, and you can follow us on Instagram. And if you need a personal trainer, both gender, we offer all sorts of services. Thank you for your time, and see you again tomorrow.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is Daily Communion, a program from the stable of Catholic Television of Nigeria. We are running on channel 115 on GoTV, and today we are going to be discussing a burning issue, trending issue as the case may be, issue that involve lives and property, loss of lives and property, and it's the Benue uprising. We will be discussing this, as the case may be, with a father, a priest of the Catholic Archdiocese of Abuja, the director of Radio Maria, who is also from Benue State. We're going to be looking at these issues from various perspectives: the government perspective, the ethnic perspective, the community perspective, and of course, the aspect of the church. Father Ame is right here with us on the program. Father, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
All right, great. Our first question will be the Benue uprising. It's terrible. the number of lives lost so far is so disheartening. Let's just have briefly, what would you have to say to this?
Okay, thank you, Nelly. Before we commence this conversation, I'd like to put a clarification out. You introduced me as someone from Benue State.
Okay, great.
Which is quite true. I am from Benue State. But here on this program, I will not be speaking as someone from Benue State. I'll be speaking as a Nigerian.
Okay.
Because the issue at hand for which we are seated here to talk is one that is to be looked at devoid of any form of sentiment.
Yes, I agree.
So as far as it involves human lives, and especially our country, every Nigerian should be worried.
I agree.
Every Nigerian should be concerned. So just to say that for the sake of those who may go with the wrong impression that his father is here to talk because he's from Nigeria. No. That's not the reason I was invited for this show.
Okay.
I was invited here as a Nigerian to speak on an issue that is happening in Nigeria.
Okay.
Just to set that record straight.
Okay.
So thank you very much again, Nelly, for the question. And as I suppose is evident to all of us, the issue of the continuous killings in Benue State, and not just in Benue State, but in other parts of Nigeria as well, is one that is quite troubling. And it should worry any right-thinking person, because one death is big enough and should be troubling enough. But we are not talking of the death of one person. We are talking of the death of tens and hundreds of people now. In a space of less than a week, within about 5 days, over 200 people killed, and not just killed, their bodies indignified, men, women, children. It's troubling. The video clips that we have seen are, to say the least, traumatizing. And anybody should feel very restless seeing and hearing all that is coming from that part of the country, because what is happening in Benue State is, I would like to say, a case of ethnic cleansing. People go to sleep in peace and they don't wake up the next day. People go to their farms and they don't come back alive. And not only are they killed, their bodies are mutilated, disrespected. I mean, it's hard to speak about these things without feeling very emotional, because for want of better words to describe what is happening there, I will just say it is appalling.
It is.
Father, I'll quickly ask you, you mentioned ethnic cleansing.
Yes.
Who are the actors involved in this ethnic cleansing?
Clearly, we know that it is the Fulanis. And they are terrorists and should be clearly addressed as such. And they are attacking communities in a jihad style, because they come killing people and shouting Allahu Akbar. So, and why I say it is ethnic cleansing is because it is targeted at a specific people, specific ethnic race. So they come to a place and sack the people, kill those they can kill, burn their houses, and sometimes occupy their space. What else can you call that but ethnic cleansing?
Yeah, but why would people not, why would people ascribe it to a particular ethnic group, the Fulanis? Is it not possible there could be some other political motives? Well, you know, any political intra-party crisis going on?
We must not make that mistake of saying that the issues happening in Benue and recently to Plateau, another part of Nigeria, has anything to do with ethnic clashes or communal clashes, because they are not. If you must speak the fact and the truth as they are not political crises. We know what political crisis looks like. We have seen political crisis in this country. We know what it looks like. We have seen community crisis. We know what it looks like. We have seen religious crisis also. We know what it looks like. What is going on right now does not look like any of these, because it is in fact not a clash. It is not a clash. You talk about a clash when people are on one side and another side and they are fighting each other, but there's no fight. What is going on here? There is no fight. You come and kill people in their sleep. What's the fight there? People who are unarmed and have not offended you. Where's the clash? Can we describe as a clash somebody on his farm tilling the ground and people come without provocation and take his life? Can we describe that as a clash? What has that got to do with politics?
Wow. Wow.
So I don't ascribe to that narrative that this is politically motivated. I don't.
It's so sadden, the situation. Okay, now if they come shouting Allahu Akbar, I think we also know something about something in history where we heard that there was a jihad, and then they got that part of Benue State, and the thieves particularly stopped them from gaining that ground. Father, what's your perspective on this?
Well, if you are referring to the Usman Dan Fodio incursion to the south of Nigeria, there are some truth sides to that narrative, because if you see from the north, his jihad conquered most part of the north and stopped in Taraba. After Taraba, you are entering Benue, and they couldn't go further. And yes, there is a narrative that the thieves and the part of the Jukun warriors stopped them from progressing further south. People say today that this could be some bit of a revenge or so. Well, I don't have all of the details on that. I don't have all of the facts on that. But one thing I do know is that the Usman Dan Fodio jihad happened centuries ago. It's not a recent thing. And in fact, I don't know how that will be a case of revenge, because if you're an aggressor and you want to take over my household and I stop you, I have not offended you, so what is the revenge for? On the contrary, I should be the one looking at you with the eye of revenge, because you are the one who tried to do me harm. If we are going to talk about revenge at all, as Christians, we don't talk revenge, we talk forgiveness. But of course, we know that we are dealing with people who hold another faith. And by and large, the whole thing about the jihad history, the Usman Dan Fodio incursion to the south, which was blocked along the Benue Valley, that's something that happened long ago. And I don't see a reason why it should be I don't see why it should be the reason why people are killed today.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't see.
Yeah, but I would like, I'm sure the viewers will also like to know, how has this crisis evolved? How has it evolved over the past decade?
If you look at the trajectory of what is going on in Nigeria now, at least it has been a little consistent for the last 10 years. We can take it a little further back to 2009 when Boko Haram started. Then we were dealing with Boko Haram, and they were majorly concentrated in one part of the country, and then eventually they have continued to spread. Today we don't even talk much about Boko Haram anymore. The talk about Boko Haram has greatly gone under, and now we are dealing with people who we don't even understand their agenda. We don't even understand their agenda. And there are people who have consistently attacked one community after another, one community after another. And it's like with each attack, they get bolder. With each attack, they get bolder. See what they did in Plateau State. It was a consistent thing over a period of time. And the one in Benue State too has been ongoing for many years. There were attacks in Agatu. There were attacks in different parts of Benue State, in Tivland, majorly Tivland. In Idoma land, it is mostly Agatu. Apart from Agatu, the most of the other attacks are happening in Tivland. So these things have been happening over a period of time. In 2017 or so, I wrote an article on my Facebook page, and I titled that article "Speak Out for Life." And in that article, the major point I was pushing out there is These things are happening in some communities, and it is to many Nigerians like nothing is happening. We are quiet. We are quiet. They went to different communities and attacked, and we kept quiet. But if we continue to keep quiet, both as citizens and as government, it will get to a time when they may come to our own doorstep and there will be nobody to speak for us.
And that's why it leads me to the next question. A clergyman like you is the current executive governor of Benue State. Would you think that it might be the government in Benue State might not be well equipped to handle this issue, being primarily that the head of the executive arm is a clergyman? Probably he's taking it from the point of the founder of Christianity that says if they slap you on this side, turn to the other side. Could that be the reason why this is consistent and we're not seeing any reaction from the executive arm of government in Benue State?
Father Alia is a priest, the governor of Benue State. His priesthood is forever. But the day he decided to venture into active politics, his priesthood was suspended. So as of this moment, we will even be right to speak about him as Mr. Hyacinth Alia. Because as far as the church is concerned, he is not a priest. His faculties have been suspended. And whether the governor is a priest or a bishop or a pastor or an imam, it does not matter. What matters is that the primary duty, one of the primary duties of government is to protect lives and properties. And that is what everybody expects that he should do also.
But supposing the priesthood thing in him is playing out, after all, the founder of Christianity, whom you equally follow, says you don't need to put your sword back to the sheath. That he who fights by the sword dies by the sword. So probably he would like a situation where your people pray. And it was said that one of them, either the bishop in Benue or the governor, says people should be praying. So are you sure that that's not making the attackers to come up more and kill people, since the people in Benue State, once they attack, they go back to pray?
First of all, let us not limit this to Benue State. It is the same pattern all over the country. It is the same pattern, because there are different attacks in different places, not just in Benue State. And we have a very unholy security structure in Nigeria, where even the state governor does not have full command and control over the security agencies. There is a state commissioner of police in the different states, but is answerable to the IG of police in Abuja. There are theater commanders and other GOCs in different divisions across the country. They are answering to the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Defense Staff, and everybody else is answerable to the President. There is even a limit to which the state government can go. But what people are even saying is, let us even see that the state government is making efforts and also insisting that this federal government should rise up to the responsibility of protecting the citizens. There is no, I don't know of any part of our laws in Nigeria that forbids or prohibits the establishment of local vigilante groups. So if the state government has no control of the police and the civil defense and the army and the air force and the navy, can the state government not also mobilize a volunteer force, vigilantes, and even equip them to also stand and defend the people? The first instinct of any human being, and not just any human being, any living thing, the primary instinct of any living thing is self-preservation. Our people say it is only a tree you tell you want to cut it down, it will stand there. Tell that to a human being, he will run. You want to kill a fowl, the fowl knows, the fowl start running. You want to kill a goat, the goat start running. So we cannot sit down and be looking at people coming to kill us.
Yeah, what you're now saying is that we should start looking at the issue of state police. And if that is the case, don't you think if that comes up, or vigilante to protect the people, won't the executive abuse it, use it against the political opponents? That's the fear of some other people, even a guest that attended this program, don't you think it can be abused?
There are many sides to this coin, and what you have just said is one side to it. But if we must do what we ought to do as people, then we should be more concerned with human lives and keep our own personal selfish ambitions aside. If we are thinking about what is in it for us, then we will not care about what is in it for the rest of the community. And when you talk about the possibility of state governments using state police to their advantage, that's a very high possibility. We cannot rule that out. But should that be our primary focus? Since the structure in Nigeria now does not permit for the operation of state police, can the state also not have local vigilante groups in different communities that will be able to protect the people in those communities? These are options that we should be looking at. Self-preservation is not a crime. It is an unjust aggression that is a crime. So if you want to kill me and I can defend myself, I will defend myself. I don't have to be aggressive towards you. But I should not sit down and what should be cutting my head because you say, Jesus says, somebody slap you, turn the other cheek. The same Jesus, when people wanted to kill him, he ran away. He ran away. He didn't sit down and say, okay, since they want to kill me now, let me stay down, wait for them. No, he ran until it was time. And then he gave himself up. So, if the people are protecting themselves, they are not doing anything wrong.
Okay, Father, if we're looking at it from this point of view, I think our viewers would also like to know, I mean, a little light, let's shed a little light on what is actually happening. These people, are they internal or they are external? Are they within us or they are without? And how do they get into and then do all these killings and all that? For me, is a little bit confusing, Father.
So, since I don't know any of them personally, I won't know whether they're internal or external. Excuse me. I don't know that. But the people we see on videos, it is possible that some of them are not Nigerians. But if you look at the possibility of foreigners being among them, the number could be small. These are our own fellow Nigerians doing these things. They are speaking, I think it's Fufude, and they are speaking Hausa, and they are speaking local Nigerian languages. Yes. And our first conclusion should be, excuse me, or would be rather that these are Nigerians. And even if they are not Nigerians, then it should raise concerns and questions about our security structure and the porosity of our borders, that such number of persons will enter into our country and be causing havoc in the country, and then we seem to be helpless about them. As far as I will say, they are Nigerians doing these things.
But Father, you know, I'm sure you know the Fulanis have lived peacefully with other ethnic groups in Nigeria.
Correct.
And someone will say, or people will be asking, so what went wrong? Why is there a problem? Formerly, the Fulanis and the Agatus, the thieves, the Jokons were all neighbors and they lived peacefully. So what went wrong? What is the problem now?
I grew up in Kaduna, and we also had interactions with the Fulanis. The Fulanis that we grew up knowing rather, were peaceful people. They were just about their animals and selling their fura and their nono, and carrying their sticks and their big radios, and we play with them on the street. We don't always see them, but once in a while you see them come out. We play with them on the street. Over time, this has changed. What we used to know the Fulanis with was sticks, and at best a machete, because they are always in the bushes. But today they are carrying guns, very sophisticated weapons that you think they are going to war. What went wrong? That I can't say for certain. But I do know that at some point, something did actually go wrong. Beginning from the time of Boko Haram in 2009. And this is what I believe somehow has metamorphosed into what we are seeing today. Boko Haram, several people, including those who are top security experts, have come up to say in public forum that Boko Haram was a political child of some politicians. But over time, they have become bigger than even the parents who birthed them. And now, they can no longer be controlled. And so, they have continued to scatter like that and split, and then they are forming different terror cells. So, like I said earlier, we don't even speak about Boko Haram anymore. Today, we are looking at a whole different type of hydra-headed monster, and it is really a thing of concern.
Honestly, Father, that reminds me of 𝐂𝐭𝐻𝐿 Achebe. I think it's him that wrote this poem, Turning and Turning the Widening Girl. I think he got to a part where he said the falcon can no longer hear the falconer, and anarchy is loosed upon the world. Okay, of blessed memory. All right, viewers, it's been Daily Communion. We will go on a short break now, and we will be right back. Please stay with us.
Hello, my name is Father Maximilian Peter Okpong. I am a proud contributor to the Catholic Television of Nigeria. Keep watching CTV, a station that inspires hope. Peace.
You are watching CTV.
We all know what happened in Benue State, and we all saw what happened in Benue State. So for him to pay visit to Benue State, he tried. But let him deploy more security, and also let him also mount some security checkpoints in all local government. And also, in Benue State, we have almost 5 tribes in Benue State. We have Igede, TV, Idoma, Tilo. Let them join hands together and fight this. Because Benue is not meant for only TVs, for everybody.
If people cannot faithfully believe in a system, there is no way, nothing can make it work. It's just like a prayer kind of meeting. That is the kind of relationship we're having with the government. If the people are praying and the heads are just busy, doing whatsoever they want to do, which is their own personal business and for their own personal interests, I don't feel like it's going to contribute much to the kingdom. But it's a very good thing that the presidency is visiting, and it will help to tidy the security, at least, let me say, for a week, because if it's going there today now, I believe that for the next 1 week, 2 weeks, there will be tight securities. But afterwards, people will just go back to their normal daily life.
Like me now, if I'm a farmer man, so let's say I cannot go do my farm because I'm thinking, because now I cannot go to my farm because there's no security. You understand? So that's why the moment we must get problem for the food. Let's say like Niger, it's not everybody that is doing farming. Sokoto, that's not everybody that is doing farming. Both Zamfara, because there's no security, all these kidnapping people. Don't surprise whether or not the people there inside the town, I think they killed themselves. Nobody knows, it's only God. So the only thing I will tell Mr. President, she very, very serious about the security issue everywhere. That's my own idea.
Government knows what to do. In a civilized society, they know what to do. Those people are not bigger than Nigerian army. Those people that are perpetrating this wickedness are not bigger than Nigerian government. If government want to tackle it, they will tackle it. And they will put a stop to it. For self-defense, no, I'm not calling for it. But where the worst come to the worst, people will resort to self-defense. Because you cannot be watching your children being slaughtered like an animal. If you have a pistol or you have, let's say, a stick or plank, at least you will do something before they kill you. But I'm not advocating for self-defense. What I'm still advocating is that federal government should look into it. And I know they have the capacity. They have whatever it takes. If they want to suppress it, they will suppress it and bring those bandits to book. And once people are being judged and correct punishment is being meted on them, I think this thing will stop.
Self-defense is not the best option, actually. But at large, we need Nigeria, we need the security, like the armed forces and the police forces, to go and check what is the main problem. Like the way people have been shouting and crying for this Fulani henchmen and Boko Haram or whatsoever. So now, Benue, we don't know the actual problem. Who are those? Is it the Fulanis or the Boko Haram that are still going back to this? As they finish Maiduguri, they came to other northern Zamfara, like other states. They kill people there. So is it the herdsmen or the Boko Haram that are still going to this Benue? We want to know.
Surely there's going to be a change. There will be a change in the sense that the commander-in-chief himself was in Benue. All the service chiefs were in Benue. And in an open space, he gave his directives on what he expects them to do. And if you follow it up, surely there will be significant changes in the security situation in that state. But if they are saying that communities should begin to organize themselves in a manner that when the attackers come, they will be able to react, at least to give the security forces time to come for their assistance. They should be able to hold the attackers back because the reaction time of the security forces also matter. And if this community cannot organize themselves in such a way to say, oh, let's do this, to give our security forces the time that they needed to be able to come and assist, then it will work. It will work, and it will even give the community a sense of belonging, a sense of togetherness to defend their common interests.
Welcome back. This is Daily Communion, and we've been discussing the Benue uprising, looking at things from various perspectives, the perspective of the government, the history, the community, and what we think is happening at the moment. We've shared a whole lot from Father Ahmed, some wealth of knowledge. It's been Father Ahmed, the director, Radio Maria, speaking with us as a Nigerian, and we've dished out a whole lot from here. Now my name is Nelly, once more sitting in or standing in, as the case may be, for Joy. We've been discussing the issues from various perspectives, like we said, and we would like to quickly begin to look at solution, because whenever there is trouble, there are things that we need to do to restore peace, as the case may be, and we'll look at it from the solution point of view now. But like Arthur was saying before we went on the break, Father, we think we should also look at it from this perspective of people saying it's climate change or something, because I will personally ask, what are they looking for? Is it lands? Is it houses? I really don't even know what they're looking for. Father, please kindly look at it from this perspective for us.
When we talk about climate change and how it affects or is related to what is going on, I do not think that it's a basis for any of these ungodly massacres to happen. No. Climate change may be affecting our environment, yes, but it is not the reason for anybody to take another person's life. People say the Fulanis who are doing these things are looking for pasture for their animals. Maybe before that was true, that the Fulanis take the animals into people's farms and people challenge them and it becomes a clash, becomes a fight. Maybe before that was true. But even at that, there is no justification for taking your animals, your source of livelihood, into somebody's farm, somebody's own source of livelihood, to go and destroy the person's farm. There is no justification for that. In every sane society where people rear animals like cows and goats, they ranch. Get a space and put your animals there and feed them there.
You're talking about ranching. The federal government, I think through the president, had asked the Benue State government to provide land for ranching. What's your take on this?
With all due respect to the president, I think that's not a wise thing to say.
Why?
Yes. You can't ask me to provide land for you to do your business. Are you paying for the land?
But that's part of enabling. It's just like, isn't it part of government to say, I'm waiving taxes for you? Is it not the prerogative of government? If this will secure life and properties, there are some lands that are uninhabited or ungoverned within that area. If you give these people there, they will develop their house, develop everything and stay there. And there will be less clashes.
There is no uninhabited land that is a free land in this country. Every land belongs to somebody, or at least to the government. And animal husbandry is a business. It is a business. Because they don't dash their cows to people. They sell. They don't dash their milk to people. They sell. People who are planting yams, farming is a business for them too. So, why should I give you my land to run your business? If you want the land, pay for it. If the government has lands belonging to the government can choose to give them land.
But all lands belong to the government.
Again, yes, all lands belong to government, but people also buy land from the government. And that's why you give me a certificate of occupancy when I own a land. So, again, this will also raise complications and problems for the future. Because why should a certain group of people be treated preferentially, given lands to run their private personal businesses, and then other people will not have the same kind of privileges? That raises a question. The Fulanis who are raising animals, they are doing business. It's private. It is not government sponsored. It's not government owned rather. So it's private business. If they need land, they buy land. And that is what should be done. It is ranching that will solve the clashes between herders and farmers. But again, like I said, this thing, we can talk about it before, not now. Why do I say so? The people who are attacking communities today, they don't come with cows, they come with Okada. They come with bikes. They don't come bearing sticks, they come bearing guns. They don't herd animals to look for pasture to feed. They enter people's rooms and shoot them and burn them. So these are not the same thing at all. These are not the same thing. Even in other communities, let's now leave the Fulanis aside. In other communities, let us say, for example, in the southeast, somebody owns a goat or a herd of goats, and he allows his goats to roam into people's farms, and they go and destroy somebody's farms. It is a cause for crisis. And locally, they find a way of settling such things. What do people do in such a situation? They ask the owners of the goats, build a space for your goats. Go cut grass and feed your goats so that your goats do not go and destroy somebody's farms. This is what we should be talking about. So when the president is saying give them land to do ranching, I'm asking the question, why should they be preferentially treated? The only exception I may look at is what you said. If this will stop the killings, then it is a sacrifice good enough to make.
Yes.
If it will stop the killings. But again, like I just mentioned, the killings that are happening now, we don't see them coming from those who are pushing herding animals in the bushes. We see people come in droves, riding on motorcycles, kill people, burn, and then go back like that. So, for this once, we should be talking about the security agencies of Nigeria, matching them fire for fire, power for power. That's what we should be talking about. So, to talk about ranching is to avoid the main issue. Because These guys that come on bikes,
even if you ranch,
are they looking for land to raise animals? They are not. No. They're not looking for land to raise animals. Those ones who carry animals around, they don't enter people's homes. Yeah. They don't even enter inside the communities. They don't. They just go around the farms outside the communities with the animals to feed the animals. And then they feel offended if somebody challenges them. Why are you destroying our farms? But the people we are talking about who are doing these killings, they enter room to room, dragging people out, butchering them, shooting them, burning them. These are not people who are looking for land to ranch. They are not.
Okay. All right. Let's just add a little to it. What particularly are they looking for?
Well, honestly, I can't answer that question. I don't know, because it is a baffle to everybody. It's a baffle. Like I said, those ones who herd animals, we know that they are looking for food for the animals. Yes. And in the process of doing that, they trample on other people's properties, they trespass on other people's properties, which becomes a cause for crisis. But these ones, we don't know what they are looking for. They just come, kill and go. So again, we talk about the fact that these people are on a genocide mission, killing an entire race of people. And it is more worrisome that when they sack a community, they come and inhabit the place.
Wow.
And the government does nothing.
The government does nothing. So the government knows that they are there.
Okay, so what will be the solution to this? What would you suggest for the state government then to the federal government so that we don't have these dangerous incursions going on, not just in Benue State, but across Nigeria? And it's been attributed to one particular ethnic group. So what will be the solution, long-term solution for the state government and the federal government? All right,
Father. Before we do the state government and the federal government, I think we have some of our viewers who are sharing their opinion that communities can also do something. They also feel that probably community leaders and stakeholders can come into dialogue. So let's just do community first, then we take it to the government. As it's happening to us, we are here. Let's talk about what individuals in the communities can do first.
Communities can mobilize themselves, especially their young people, to set up security structures, vigilantes, even though they may not be as equipped as these people who are the attackers. But to not do nothing will be the true failure on their part. They should make some effort to protect themselves. And you can't know my house more than myself who lives in the house. So it's difficult for people from the outside to understand the terrain better than the indigenes who stay there. If they are able to mobilize themselves, then at least they can form lookout groups who can alert the community if there is impending danger. Why these killings are in their large numbers is because most of the time the communities are taken unawares. Nobody is on the lookout. Everybody thinks all is well. Everybody thinks all is safe. And then calamity strikes. So this is one thing that the communities can do. That the young people, men and women, can mobilize themselves and form sentry batches to look around and be able to alert the community where there is danger. The community also should be able to have conversations on emergency protocols. What to do if something happens. Is there a safe place that people can go and hide? What can we do especially to protect the women and the children? What should the men do when such things arise? Should all of us run? Should we come out and defend our people? If we are running, where are we running to? Not to just start running anyhow, helter-skelter, and then sometimes even run into the hands of those who are your attackers. That's something that communities can do on their part. And then for the government at state and federal levels, I say that the government know exactly what they should do. They know exactly what they should do if they want to bring this to a stop. And they should stop playing the ostrich, burying their heads in the sand and watching people die. We have a military in this country that was once the pride of Africa. This same Nigerian army restored peace in Liberia, where terror groups like this sprang up. And Nigerian army, in the name of, under the group of 𝐂𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐿, went to Liberia, went to Sierra Leone, defeated those terrorists, restored the legitimate governments to those places. It is the same Nigeria. And if the government is sincere about dealing with these issues, I say to you, my dear friends and our listeners, that in no time this will be a talk of the past. Once upon a time, when we hear that somebody is kidnapped, we are sure that the police will go after the kidnappers. We are sure. And most of the time, they rescue the victims. Today, kidnapping has become like Taste by Moonlight. Every day, every week, we hear stories of people kidnapped and nothing happens. A friend of mine, his sister was kidnapped. I'm saying this on live TV. His sister was kidnapped, and the family went to report to the police. This was around 11 p.m. You know what the police said? They have closed for the day. In this our Nigeria, police told the family that they have closed for the day. How do you reconcile that with the Nigeria that we grew up knowing? We see videos of our soldiers captured and humiliated with the Nigerian badge on their shoulders, wearing the Nigerian army green, humiliated and massacred. And these people will do videos and post it online. You want to tell me that the DSS cannot trace the IP protocols of those videos to where they come from? You want to tell me that the Nigerian security apparatus cannot find these people or don't know where they are? They know. They know. And I am saying it with all sense of seriousness and categorically, that if the government wants to put an end to this thing, the government knows what to do. State and federal government. The terrorists that are terrorizing our land today, they are nowhere near. They are nowhere near the capacity of the Nigerian military, except that some persons have chosen not to do what they are supposed to do. And then, of course, you know how it is with the military. They take orders. They take orders. So if they are not giving the order to act, they will not act. And sometimes, a few times we have heard that some people were arrested and an order from above came and they were released. How do we explain this? So yes, there is a solution to this, and the solution is in the hand of the government. I put it squarely at the foot of the government, that the government is responsible for the lingering crisis that we are having as far as this terrorism is concerned, because they have failed to stand up, rise up to the occasion and do what they are supposed to do. If the Nigerian government is resolved to put an end to this, I assure you, in the next couple of months, we will hear less of what is going on. If not, it completely stopped. We hear less.
All right.
You know how we say it in Nigerian pidgin? The military will give it to them water. And they themselves, wherever they came from, they will return back to those places. We are capable, the government is capable, except that the will and the resolve and the commitment to do it, those who have the powers to make the call are not making those calls.
Just to add to what you just said now, I think beyond ending this, the perpetrators should be prosecuted, and a public show of that should be made as a deterrent to other people who wish to continue the killing and invasion of peaceful communities.
Very well. We also know that the church is not silent about it.
Well, there is a limit to what the church can do. And first, as a people of faith, our duty will be to pray for our country, to pray for peace to be restored in our land, to pray also for the conversion of heart of the killers who are doing this evil. And the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria has even issued a call for a 9-day novena prayer starting 21st June to 29th June. They have called on all Catholics, all Christians in all the dioceses to offer masses, offer rosary prayers, offer the prayer for Nigeria in distress for 9 days, so that God will restore peace in our land. And even as we are praying too, we're also praying that God will touch the heart of those, like I've said, who have the powers to make the call to put an end to this, to rise up to the occasion and do what they are supposed to do. The church can only offer prayerful support. The church cannot offer military support. The church cannot offer any real action. But as we are expecting the government to take action, the church is supporting the effort of the government with prayers. So we talk about faith and actions, prayer and actions. So this is the much that the church can do, and the church is not silent. The church is also speaking out to call on those in government to do what they are supposed to do. I am a part of the church as a priest, and that's exactly what I'm even doing right now.
As sad as the situation is, you've heard Father Silvanus discussing this from various perspectives, and we believe that we've learned a whole lot from this discussion today. It's been daily communion, and then we've been discussing the Benue uprising, and we've touched every other part, not just Benue. It's not just happening in Benue, it's just that Benue is the most recent and trending, and that's why we're calling Benue. Father has also discussed various states that this thing is happening, the pattern and the strategies that they are using. Daily Communion is running on a Catholic television, which is on the platform of GoTV channel 115. You will do well also to join us on our various social media platforms, and the handles are displayed on the screen right now. You join the narrative, comment, share, and also join us in propagating the good work that we are doing here. There you have it. That's the much we can take on the daily communion today. Father Ame, you are welcome so much with this discussion. We are so blessed to have you here today.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me here.
All right, from me, Nelly Frank standing in for joy. From me is bye.
And thank you. See you same time, same station tomorrow morning.